What up, YouTube? So I had a homie on Twitter who seems to see the same problem with people trying to learn about the defensive mechanics in Soul Calibur, specifically reversal edge. And now there's probably tutorials out there of how to deal with reversal edge, and there's probably ways to learn about it by looking at some sort of a guide, but it should be in the game. But since it's not, and you stopped on this video, I want to give you a few ways to beat and bait reversal edge. Okay. So a lot of the times when people use reversal edge, it's not out in the open, raw. It's gonna be after they're hit with something in like a frame ambiguous situation, on hit, like after they've gotten hit. I should say at frame disadvantage, or even on wake up, right? So if I hit someone with something like this that is plus 10, they can't reversal it. You see that? I have the bot here set to reversal it. So if I go for a 10 frame and an immediate 12 frame, there's actually a giant gap in startup of reversal edge. Maybe it's not the biggest, but it is 6 frames. So there are going to be some ways that you're able to enforce a force block. That is an I-14 move after plus 10. Okay, so that is something that I think feels pretty good to use, right? To beat someone just trying to hard reversal edge, you can just do that. And if they're mashing reversal edge, they just get hit. They can't even block because they're not blocking, they're pressing the RE button. So what it'll look like is it'll look like something more like this. I have to delay it. I can't believe it's not coming out. It's because they're in crouch? Holy crap. You have an hour. You have so long, but you don't have that long. It's just the bot being weird. But if you delay your pressure and things like that, you will stuff out the bot's reversal edge by leaving a 2 frame gap. So that the startup frames of it will get beat by your fastest option. Otherwise, say you hit your opponent with something that's not super plus because you went for something like a poke, like a singular edge. Stepping is not always an option, right? Sometimes you'll step, and the bot will, and they'll beat you with the reversal edge. Let me explain, let me show you how, what I mean. Damn, Siegfried's reversal edge is actually mad slow. Maybe, let's do this. Yeah, I can't step there. Yeah, I get hit. Now, that move has a way to still play around / play through reversal edge after. And you can find this out by labbing your character a little bit. Unfortunately, labbing sucks, right? I get that. But something that you can do with most characters is if a move isn't actually completely reversal edge safe, like a good example of a reversal edge safe move is like a really long windy low. A move like that, if he does reversal edge hold, it's gonna get blown up completely. But a move like this, a lot of times if you're left in a state where you're in front of the opponent, not on the side of them, you can block, right? You do take the frame disadvantage. Oops. But you can block. Blocking is not a bad idea. You take a little bit of damage, your guard gauge gets hurt, but so does theirs. And you end up slightly minus, which isn't the best, but at least it's not literally the rock, paper, scissors mechanic that comes along with it. Another good option that you can go for is something like this, an RI. Now this option requires meter. And it requires that you use a move that is not unsafe to reversal edge or leaves you side turn like the move we just looked at. This move leaves me side turn. So because of that, I don't actually have the frames in a 3D fighter to turn back to neutral and then RI. GI cannot be reversal edge, but RI can, right? So another good, a good thing that you can do here actually is you can do something like this, oops. Ooh, wow, that's so plus it actually beats it, technically, into something like a super. Because if you look at the blowback on a reversal edge, now this is something that getting into the rabbit hole, unfortunately, here a little bit. If you look at the blowback on reversal edge, that is a level 2 blowback, not a level 1. So you can actually confirm something, right? If your opponent doesn't immediately GI back or RI back, you can get something like a 12 frame, a 14 frame, or a 16 frame, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try that. Oh, I did GI. Yeah, free I-12. Right, and the only thing that they can do about that in a situation where they RI'd is they actually have to immediately re-GI, which leaves them open for more mix-ups and open like opportunities to open the opponent up. Another good thing to do is if you have it like fully unlocked that your opponent is going to reversal edge, there is the break attack mechanic. This mechanic right here that I just used also beats GI and RIs with the wrong timing. If your opponent times an RI wrong, or misplaces a GI or RE, they get absolutely blown up. This is usually where you're going to see some of like your biggest combos in the game, right? So, oops, if I could land it. That's why you're going to see some of your heavier damage combos as your character, right? And it just comes with finding a move that's so plus that when they RI, you have time to break attack. So unfortunately, there's no in-game frame data. A little hard to figure that out, but once again, you're here watching this YouTube video, hopefully trying to learn some things. So check out some of the other resources that show frame data for a game like Soul Calibur 6. The last option, which is a little more privileged, and I'll be real honest, it's extremely privileged. Not every character can do this, but for the characters who can, a lot of characters have reversal edge safe options, and they can step. Not every character. Supercombo.gg. Big Papa Chunk put in the chat. You see that? You see that right there? We're going to drop that link at the end of the video, or we're going to put it in the description of this YouTube video. Say hi to the YouTube's families. Anyways. This is an option that not a lot of characters have plentiful. But sometimes characters have options that are so plus or so frame negative, beneficial that you can actually, let me see if I can get it. Oops. You can actually step and get a full punish, right? That's what we just did there. We got a full combo punish with them RE. I think this is actually another example. Maybe the wrong direction. Hold on. Damn. Dang, that is super plus. I forgot. I have to delay it. That is so plus. Jesus! Well, I'm sure that's reverse ledge safe. If I'm not mistaken, that moves reverse ledge safe. But the bot is very finicky. It either has RE hold full or it has RE normal. So going in and doing this reverse would probably be the best way to lab it. But without labbing it, I can tell you right now I know a few of Zos's. 3AK is RE safe. 6AA is RE safe to most of the cast. Full Crouch 3K is actually safe to the entire cast. And what I'm going to use to show you that is the best fucking reversal edge in the game. Nightmare's reversal edge is extremely fast, and he probably needs it because he doesn't have the greatest of defensive options, unfortunately. But his sword is very wide. So it's fast and wide, makes it hard to step. Oops. Full launch combo against one of the best reversal edges in the game. Another good example of a character with a phenomenal reversal edge is Sophitia. So let's try this exact same situation again, where we hit the opponent and we make them have to get back. Right? So we'll hit them with BB. Whoa! I always seem to get a punish. Now, every character doesn't have a lot of reversal edge safe options, and some characters' reversal edge safe options aren't safe to the entire cast, unfortunately. Right? Maybe they have two options. One is safe to the entire cast, and one is safe to half the cast, or 3/4 of the cast. That's something that you can lab, and then when you learn, it just gives you another angle of attack and more depth, right? Defensively and offensively, that just adds another layer to the game, which is cool, I guess. It's not the worst thing in the world. I wish that it was more universal, but because it's not, it's a lab monster to do. These are the few options that I can think of off the top of my head right now, doing this off the dome, one take video, as all of my YouTube videos are, to beat reversal edge and to counterplay reversal edge. Be so plus that you're forcing a force block situation. Use a button that you can RI after. Oh, she's not doing it. What the hell? I'm so plus. Maybe do this. And maybe that. There we go. So use a button that you can RI after. Costs a meter, but it is another form of counterplay. If you're hard reading something, you get one of your biggest combos for your character, usually. Or explore your best options to safely beat reversal edge. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for the YouTubes. This is Beanie Thuggish, coming in with like a little tutorial style video, not something I usually do. Bigger fan of the talk segments, but I want people to see this game in its full intent. Even if I think it's got some problems, two YouTube videos back to back, we're going to explain some of the intricacies of the defensive options. The last video was on air control and ukimiing, and this video is on reversal edge. And yes, you will have to lab these things because there's no tutorial in the game, but it is nice to find it somewhere. This is Beanie Thuggish for the YouTube, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you want to see more content like this. Peace.